Hello, fellow Ambazonians and fellow televiewers. Viewers. I greet you all and welcome to this presentation made by me, your humble host, Capo, the Deputy Defense Chief and Anti-Kidnapping Czar of the Ambazonian Governing Council and the spokesperson of the Ambazonian Governing Council. Today is Saturday, the 14th day of this month of January 2023, a brand new year, and the first 2 weeks of this year have been fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome. This program is going to be broadcast simultaneously on my YouTube channel in Capo and also on the Ambazonian Communication Network Facebook page live, and also on satellite on our television, the ACN. So those who are watching me from Ground Zero, I want to thank you for having me in your house today on your TV screen, and for those watching me on your mobile device, I'm also privileged to be able to talk to you and communicate to you updates from Ambazonian Liberation War, as well as very critical analysis based on facts and substantiated issues that are coming up from the ground, as well as in diplomacy, and from your great community of the Ambazonian Governing Council organization. For all our members across our national territory, all our members abroad, I salute you. So we are going to start today by taking you to Ground Zero and show you some video footages from the ground, and then we are going to go straight into our presentation. So fellow Ambazonians, my own country people them, my own Sansan boy, my own Jamanjama woman them for inside the Ambazonia, buy and sell them, the people doing now hold that economy. Boy, the way they broke firewood for compound, for broke firewood for inside villages, now wanna be the key. Wine tapper them, medicine people, herbalists, all now wanna be the champion of Ambazonia, and we are a grassroots movement who will focus for elevate the people on the ground. The vast majority of una they talk pidgin English, na you be una will be our main focus for empower una as we go forward. So I will start as I ran talk, I go to talk also for English and for Pidgin Standard English and for Pidgin when our language so that make all man understand, because we don't get a lot of research at them where they listen to us for get information about what way it happen, so we factor that in. So we will get a more interactive presentation this time. So the comment section is open. As I am talking to you now, I can see the comment section, and those who are watching me live on YouTube, they can comment and I will react to their comments. I will select some and react, and some questions that come up there, I will also be reacting from them. I want to greet Milton Fru, who is watching on live on YouTube, and those who are watching me on ACN Facebook page. Our technical staff will be sending me on my mobile device, which is in front of me as well, messages that should be brought to my attention during this presentation. So all of you are welcome. We will start with this video from showing you our movement on the ground, so that everybody will be in synchronology, because we are here because of them. So let us always remember that.
The continuity. This is the continuity of the second session.
So we want to start first for acknowledge all our people then for Ground Zero, all the Ambazonian Governing Council members and our ADF members and our community them, and all the other various factions the way they don't rise up as one man for demand for independence for Ambazonia. We want to acknowledge them. We therefore here for speak for the voiceless and for empower the powerless, so that together we will feel free our country, make our people then live in dignity and in prosperity. So we want to thank all of our heroes and our liberators and freedom fighters where they make this war and this resistance make it be possible for our people. Then we want also to thank all our community teachers, those in the Ambazonian pure sector, and those who then they for inside the Catholic Church, those who they work for Presbyterians, and those who they work for Baptist and private school. Then we don't authorize them be the operate for Ambazonia. We want to acknowledge that. And one for thank all Ambazonia the way they return back from La Republic. We'll get a wave of Ambazonia where they return back from La Republic because of our education policy and our campaign for free Ambazonia, for create a space where they feel live there. So one for salute General Efang, our supreme commander on the ground, and all other forces them as well, where they fight for our independence. I see Zambo, Vince also online. I salute you. So ladies and gentlemen, we will go now straight into our presentation for today. So, with under the gate news, say one of our Fon, our traditional ruler, them for inside the great state of Menchum, Fon Matthias, then be assassinated, then be killed by the Mbororo proxy militias of La République du Cameroon. The Cameroon state, having failed to defeat Ambazonia on the battlefield, are now engaging in hiring Boko Haram fighters who are coming in from Kano to come into Ambazonia and have minders within our Mbororo Ambazonian community that are helping them to carry out genocide in our villages. The people in Eso have bear the brunt of this policy of Cameroon proxy fighters. We have also seen the same thing in Nwa and the same thing in areas in Bui and many other areas, including Kambe in Ambazonia of Cameroon, military government military using its proxy forces to attack our communities. Today, we have learned about the death of Fon Matthias. He's from a small village in Isu that is called Munka village. It is just after Gayama area there. That is where the village is. He was killed today with one of his Chinda, and 6 houses were burnt down by the Mbororo Cameroon proxy forces that are operating in the state of Menchum. They are working in collaboration with Baba Ndampolo, his estate, and the Cameroon military and officials who are there. We are going to take a moment and a whole entire show to highlight and unravel this mystery that is going on in a very enclave area. Baba Ndampolo is working hard with the MTN, with the Nextel to make sure that Menchum become an enclaved area where news do not come out and images do not come out. They have succeeded for a long time, but now Ambazonia have its own voice. The Ambazonian Communication Network and our various network of communication will empower our people and will highlight these things so that they are not kept under the rock and the world will know exactly what is happening. So, fellow Ambazonians, today we are coming with a wonderful, powerful strength and momentum as our forces across our national territory have been targeting Cameroon occupation checkpoints. It all started in the great city of Bamenda, where the Ambazonian Defense Forces, the ADF Bamenda Brigade, launched a daytime brazen attack targeting a Cameroon gendarme checkpoint that is in my 5 in Nkwen, and we have some footages to show our people, to share with them this great victory that saw the neutralization of 2 Cameroon colonial forces and their vehicles riddled with bullet wounds. So these are images that are coming from Bamenda. Images are taken by our citizens of the attack in that ambush. So those are images of our confrontation with the Cameroon occupation forces in our capital of resistance, the most populated city in Bamenda, and urban warfare. This is to show our people that we are capable and we will continue to go after all Cameroon occupation checkpoints. We will make sure we take away all their checkpoints across our national territory. Fellow Ambazonians, also today in Mabanda, in the great state of Meme, in Kumba, Tiri area, there in Mabanda, the Ambazonian Defense Forces have carried out a wonderful, successful reprisal operation following an ambush on our unit in Teke by the Cameroon occupation military. The Cameroon occupation forces, they targeted our units, they ambushed us, and we fought back. Unfortunately, we lost Commander Zami, who was killed by the Cameroon occupation terrorist forces. We have successfully carried out a reprisal attack today in Mambanda that was successful. One Cameroon, it was a mixed patrol. One Cameroon police officer is confirmed to have been neutralized in the operation, and 1B have also been neutralized. Images of the Cameroon terrorist police force that was neutralized have emerged from Equinox. This is the face of the Cameroon terrorist that was neutralized in that operation. And these are footages of one of the weapons that our forces, our brave soldiers under General Rambo, who is the ADF overall commander in Mezam and in Meme, as well as in Dian. These are images that are coming from our forces on the ground in the Atlantic state of Ambazonia. Let me put up those images.
Today, the 13th of January 2023, we launch attack today. The ADF Bar Combattery under Major General Rambo. Combattery, the General of Combattery. Now this we don't come on mission today. They can't attack we, ambush we. They take our touch our one Pekin. Our power vex. Them will come out today, we'll go back for revenge. Now we'll go back for revenge, we'll go take the one back to M16. This will go take them. Mabanda Junction Kumbatiri. I will go follow that they run. One man, do one fall, the rest they run. Injury that they run, they are gone. Over pressure be there. Now only do I will take her, will turn back. And so we'll continue to take her. We need na only granite them. So we'll continue to take her all time. We need explosive, all thing power. When I send them, when I will confirm them. Now no say picking the road up where they be sleep. As I will be there, when I will promise, when I promise.
As soon as the year, the momentum is high, the spirit is high in our take care unit under Commander General Rambo. Then talk say sleep no be die. When lion is sleep now because he be die over chop, the lion for instance take care today, he don't wake up. As we empower them, I want to encourage all Ambazonian sons and daughters where they come up for inside Meme. Please reach out to Hurace, reach out to our press secretary, Lucas Asu and Mama Wali, and donate. We are carrying out a major push to arm our forces in the great state of Meme and in Zian. The operation has already been designed. The program have already been worked through for over 3 months, and it is now ready for implementation, and all we need is money. So I'm pleading on Ambazonians all across the world. Please, when you go to donate, mention this my appeal, that you have listened to me, you have heard the Deputy Defense Chief who have talked about the issue in Meme. We need huge investment. There is also going to be a fundraiser this week by the Scandinavian constituency of the Ambazonian Governing Council. We are going to be supporting that, but I'm making a personal plea for all Ambazonians who are watching me right now on every mobile device, on your TV network. Please reach out and donate and mention me that you are donating because I have asked you to donate. This money is very, very crucial. There are a program, I will just put it out there. We have 10 AKs that are ready to go. We need to pay the money so that it should be delivered to our forces in Meme for a big push we are going to do in Tian and in Meme. So please, I urge you to follow the word of your countryman, Capo and donate and make this program work for our liberation struggle. Congratulations to all Ambazonian Liberation Forces and all our sister forces on the ground. I also will now go straight into preparation for our main program today, which is titled "The Protest of the Sansan Boy in Muyuka." Our youth in Malindi, in Muyuka, right up to Boya, have all spoken, and we are going to go to that shortly. But first of all, ladies and gentlemen, if you have heard that Cameroon is one of the most corrupt country in the world, a country that does not respect law and order, or does not focus with the rule of law. And if that is all you know growing up in that country, my brother, there is a lot going out there. We can be better human beings. We can be more dignified human beings. And what we see in Cameroon is a level of corruption, integrity, or courtism that is beyond comprehension. And sometimes when you have a hired political parties there, you can't really get the clear picture, and it is our duty to bring this real image of the conduct of La République du Cameroon. I'm seeing the TAR, Pride TAR is also online. So I'm going to take you into La République du Cameroon and show you how the decay, how bad it is. Some of people you will not understand, especially those in Ground Zero, because that is all we have been exposed to. So the Cameroon, this is the president of the Cameroon Senate. Is it not? Is it the parliament or whatever they call him? The speaker of the National Assembly of La République du Cameroon. He's a very old man, as you know. All of them are old people, senior citizens with dementia. So this old man, I think, is 89 years old or something like that. He's Kavaye Yege Jibri. He is the Cameroon Speaker of the National Assembly. In his house in the northern part of La République du Cameroon, his relative stole 84 million colonial currency cash. It's bizarre and strange enough that people will be having this type of huge sum of money in their house. This is to show you people the type of gangsters and the clique that are running that country. So this guy had over 84 million francs that was stolen from his house by his relative. The Speaker of the National Assembly of La République orders the Cameroon military to go and arrest all his family members that were living in his house for stealing money. This may sound normal to some of the people who have known nothing but the barbarism and corruption and lawlessness of the Cameroon's Paul Biya's regime, the regime of the colonial state of Cameroon. A Speaker of the National Assembly have no power to order the arrest of anybody. He doesn't have that power in his personal capacity or his capacity as that Speaker of the House, let alone his own family members. A judge will recuse himself in a case that concerns him. How can somebody on earth order the police to go and arrest his family member and the police will go and arrest the family members? That shows the world what we have been dealing with. A country where a man, because you have high position, you can just order people to be arrested. People, your neighbor, your tenant, you can arrest anybody at any time. They don't care about their law. Their constitution have nothing to do with what they do. These are a gangster clique, oligarchy clique that have taken hold of that country. It's so bad. This is just a snippet of what they do and the type of power they sway. Nobody is safe in their hand. A minister or any man who will get position for that country, if he just point you, go arrest this one, arrest that one, with no quotation of the law, no investigation, you will be arrested just like that. So that is the Cameroon, the comedy country we have known. And to make our people see how the world is, I want to take you to the United States of America, where the Joe Biden administration have opened an investigation against their own president. FBI, law enforcement officer, have gone into the house of the President of the United States to search his house because documents that are classified were found in his house, in his private keeping, unsecure. So if a government can investigate the president, the police can go there and investigate the president, then you, if you are living in that La République country, where the Speaker of the House can just order the arrest of his family members with money that is first of all suspicious. Why would somebody keep that type of money in your house if you're not a thief? I see Milton Fru is also on the line. So I'm going to take a video and show you what is happening in the United States to show our people how democracy and the rule of law looks like, because sometimes people don't get it if you have been living in that country.
His experience would ensure that it would be done professionally and expeditiously. He said he could lead the initial investigation, but the special counsel will not be subject to the day-to-day supervision of any official of the department, but he must comply with the regulations, procedures, and policies of the department. Mr. Herr has a long and distinguished career as a prosecutor. In 2003, he joined the department's criminal division, where he worked on counterterrorism, corporate fraud, and appellate matters.
So this is the United States big man in justice. It's like their own justice minister, their own state prosecutor, coming out to appoint an individual as a special counsel to investigate their president. And the government in America, the whole institution, will support that individual to use his judgment, and he's given the qualification of that individual to go by himself. He will not be subject to any supervision. He's a reputable law enforcement officer who have been investigating crimes. They will send him, go and investigate the president of America. He will have the power to call the president in his office to have interview with the president. and nobody will be supervising him. So this is how an accountable system is, where the system works, there are checks and balance, nobody is above power, above the law. So in America, a sitting president, the strongest country in the world, the rule of law apply even as something as found in a document in the house of a president. Imagine that in Paul Biya. Imagine that in Paul Biya's Cameroon. So I wanted to show our people this so that they should know better, because they have never seen anything better in that hellhole which Donald Trump called a shithole in Africa, called Cameroon. And I want to talk about the crimes our people have suffered. Cameroon military moving into house, burning down villages, killing our people, committing war crimes on a day-to-day matter. The American ambassador, the former ambassador, Ambassador Peter, said that Paul Biya's government is committing targeted killing. We have seen evidence in Human Rights Watch and many other NGOs about La République du Cameroon crimes in Ambazonia. Crimes ordered by civil servants such as Kavayege Jibre, who can order their military, and what he says is the law. So ladies and gentlemen, I want, before we go further, to make our people know that we know the people who are responsible for this war. Now that they are fighting amongst themselves, I want you not to forget and to let them know that we have not forgotten, and these people will be held responsible. The first person who is responsible for this war that we are currently fighting now with La République is an Ambazonian. It's an Ambazonian called Paul Mingo Gogomo. Mr. Gogomo, who is an Ambazonian born from Mbambalang in Dop. He's come from where no pity come from. This Mr. Gogomo, he was the head of the what they call the ad hoc committee that was created by Paul Biya to go and negotiate with the consortium. Because of him, he signed a document, a declaration that states that the Ambazonians representative in the consortium did not want to negotiate or dialogue, which is all false. They just wanted to negotiate as a group, because now you have the lawyers, civil society coming in together from all across Ambazonia. They just wanted not to be negotiated. They don't want to be separated, and teachers have their own negotiations separately. Lawyers have their own negotiations separately, because they know that these people were now collectively representing what they are calling Anglophones, which they decided to say that we don't exist as a people. So because we wanted to negotiate and present our problem to them, respecting the order, the constitutional order of La République, we are protesting within the system. This Mr. Gogomo, whether it was by Paul Biya or not, he is the one who is responsible, who pulled the first trigger of this war by declaring falsely and making a declaration in his capacity as the chairman of the ad hoc committee that the consortiums do not want to negotiate, they don't want to dialogue, because they are following an agenda of secession. He is the one who made that allegation, who justified that decision. Following Mr. Paul Mingo Gogomo's declaration, then now you had the then Minister of Territorial Administration, Mr. René Sadi, who is a Bulu Beti clique, part of the Bulu Beti clique, now using that his declaration to ban the consortium. Banning the consortium was now rejecting Ambazonians' right under international law and under Cameroon international obligation to constitute themselves and represent their grievances legally and lawfully. That ban now ban Ambazonians, not just Ambazonians. I'm going to put that document on the screen so that they know we know what we are talking, and we have a record of what we are talking about. Let me put it on the screen so that our people can see. René Sadi now go further, not just to ban the consortium, but to give an order that bans even the SCNC, as though the SCNC was now part of that negotiation. So these are the documents. I want to transfer them here to my computer. Please pardon me. This might just take A little while. Okay. Okay, there we go. Oops. Okay. You know, sorry, we always like to deal with the proofs. So let me bring the document that was signed by Rene Sadi. Okay, there we go. It appears on your screen now, and it should be very big. So this is the document that was signed by Rene Sadi in response to legitimate protests by teachers, lawyers who form the consortium of the civil society of Ambazonia that they call the Anglophone people, the Anglophone region. In response to a declaration made by Gogomo, Rene Sadi, who was then the Minister of Territorial Administration, banned the SCNC and the consortium, thereby criminalizing advocacy for Ambazonians' rights or the right of the people in that region. This ban contradicts their own constitution, but it is a law because that is how they rule. They rule by the pen. So these are the criminals who are responsible for this law. When Rene Sadi made this ban, the Cameroon military then went into action, arrested the leaders of the consortium, our civil society, and start running away and start chasing them down. Most of the leaders are now forced to come in the diaspora where they can now freely speak. The Cameroon, the Ambazonian people responded by raising their national flag to show the world that they will not accept their identity or their rights to be suppressed. Paul Biya responded by sending out military gunship that kills hundreds of our people and brutalize our students in the university quarters in Boya and our teachers. The ADF then declared the right to self-defense and defended ourselves and killing 5 Cameroon gendarmes. Paul Biya, who had ignored the killing of Ambazonian civilians by his military in their hundreds, because of the death of now 5 of his own forces who were killed by the invocation of self-defense, now decides to declare war. So you have Gogomo, you have Rene Sadi, and you have Paul Biya. These are the people who have made the decisions to go to war.
J'ai appris avec émotion l'assassinat de 4 militaires camerounais et de 2 policiers dans le sud-ouest de notre pays. Suite à la disparition de ces 6 valeureux militaires et policiers, je voudrais présenter mes condoléances aux familles éprouvées, ainsi qu'à nos vaillantes forces de défense et de sécurité. Je pense que les choses sont désormais parfaitement claires pour tout le monde. Le Cameroun est victime des attaques à répétition d'une bande de terroristes se réclamant d'un mouvement sécessionniste. Face à ces actes d'agression, je tiens à rassurer le peuple camerounais que toutes les dispositions sont prises pour mettre hors d'état de nuire ces criminels et faire en sorte que la paix et la sécurité soient sauvegardées sur toute l'étendue du territoire national.
So this is the sequence of events that has made the decision of war. Gogomo make the declaration. On the basis of his declaration, today Gogomo is now, I think, who is he working now? At that time, now he has been transferred as the chargé de mission de la présidentielle, in how they call it in that day, La Republic. That's where they have put him. Then Rene Sadi, who was the Minister of Territorial Administration, after he banned the consortium, clearing the way, for the declaration for the criminalization of Ambazonian nationality, he was then now removed and placed. Tangipo was now given the dirty job to go and kill his own people. That is how colonial man started the work. And then Rene Sadi now is a spokesperson of the Cameroon government. Then Paul Biya now called the member of his military who were going around killing our students in Buea. We saw them having repeated terrorist attacks against our civilians, attacking students in their student quarter, systematically attacking students. It wasn't random, it was systematic. They finished from attacking students in their campus and go right to the student quarter, killing over 80, I think 80 students died, beating lawyers in their hotels, not in office, in their hotel rooms, coming down to Bamenda, into the quarter in Bambili, in Minicite, using fire trucks, helicopter gunship to kill our people, maining them down across our territory. The life of those civilians who were protesting with peace plan right in front of the governor's office in Bamenda was not valued by Paul Biya. But then the people reacted in self-defense after numerous hundreds of killings and target these terrorist Cameroon forces. People who target civilians are terrorists by definition. Our forces did not go after Cameroon administrators. They did not go after Cameroon civilians. They went after Cameroon armed military men who pose a direct threat to our civilian population. That is not the definition of terrorists. That is not terrorism in any stretch of definition. So Paul Biya, who is responsible, whose government is responsible for aggression, which have been described by everybody in the international community as reacting with a brutal force to crush down the Ambazonian people rising to demand within his constitution. Paul Biya decided now to authorize the use of military force, calling freedom fighters, people who are acting in self-defense, as terrorists and criminals. That is how we get where we are today. Over 30,000 of our people have been killed, villages burned because of these Turks. These are the chief criminals who are directly responsible for the war. So as they do their infighting and they pretend they don't know who is causing the war, I want our people to know very well that we know exactly what we are doing, and we know who we are fighting, and we are focused for the real enemies. Paul Biya is the president of Cameroon. He is directly responsible for this war. Second by Rene Sadi, and then you have Paul Mingo Gogomo of Mbambalang Ndop. These are the people who are directly responsible for the decision of this war, and they will be held responsible. They will be held responsible for their crimes and the death of our people. Today, we have heard that Justice Ayapo Abine, who is a Supreme Court justice, who criticized this decision by Paul Biya and his henchmen to go to war against a peace-loving people who were asking for grievances that were legitimate, have become a target not just by Paul Biya and his government, but also by enablers within our struggles and traitors. Chris Anu, who have championed to drive away the Ayapo Foundation, whose humanitarian work within Ambazonian refugees in Nigeria inadvertently was exposing to the war the true nature that the war was causing to over 2 million Ambazonians. Because of the activities of Ayapo, the war came to know that it was true that over 1 million Ambazonians have been driven away from their home by Cameroon military into Nigeria, something that the Cameroon government was desperately trying to hide. Even their own opposition, John Fr Ndi, who tried to visit our refugees in Nigeria, was denied access because the Cameroon government wanted to keep this thing on the cover. Who helped Paul Biya to cover these activities and the plight of our people? It was no other than Sako and Chris Anu, who went after Ayapo Foundation and used refugees that they have given small foods to them to fight against the people who are fighting to help our people. Today, Ayapo family again is under attack. They have been called, the entire family, for investigation, for trumped up charges, imaginary charges. We saw the traitor, Success Nkongo also, who works with La Republic, who have made false allegations just to incriminate this man because he has explained to the world and the Ambazonian people that the Cameroon military was using terrorism tactics They were removing people from ambulances and killing them, tracking down civilians and murdering them in cold blood because of his outspokenness and criticism of Paul Biya's choice to use war against Ambazonia. Paul have become a victim of the regime and victim of embedded agents within Ambazonia and victims of terrorists and traitors such as Failure Congo. I want to call him Failure Congo. And today we want our people to know people like Paul, who have been outspoken, have no place in the society, is not being tolerated, even though he's a gentleman, a former Supreme Court judge, who says nothing but expresses his opinion. So we want our people to know that and not to forget these happenings. So ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to take you into the core of our presentation. But before that, I want to show you something that have been observed in La République du Cameroon, made in China. You have heard that Africa have been sold to China. Cameroon, one of the worst poor country, is now the country that have transferred land, so physical land, to the Chinese. Today they have seen Chinese vehicle. Joy, you can see the flag there. You may think that they just buy the vehicle in China to come and use in China. No, there is a Chinese flag on. Very soon they will mortgage their country to the Chinese or to anybody who can buy, because they don't care about any human life. All they want is to use that country to exploit and become rich. You can imagine all the movies you have watched about how corporation takes over country. We have seen how Sri Lanka have become because they sold their country to foreign countries. Imagine that the suffering that the people in that country, because of the high indebtedness, when those people will come back to collect the money that Paul Biya is borrowing to sponsor this war, they will have not even a country of their own. So that said, I'm going to take you people into our main presentation today, which is called Sansan Boy Protest in Muyuka, the rise of the Sansan Boy in Muyuka, in Mutengene, and towards Boya. So first of all, but before we go that, I want to bring you these images that we have. We always, your own countryman, no Kone, we always present everything on this platform, and I know a lot of our people wanted to hear from me directly about this issue, because I don't just bring myself, but the governing council's opinion and reaction to such matters. So you guys have all seen the picture of John Fr Ndi holding the hands of Paul Biya B. Vondo with his two hands in his traditional regalia to go and shake the hands of a murderer, somebody who is responsible for this war and the killing of our people, the burning down of villages. As they always say, when you hold the hand, you shake the hand of a murderer, a bloody hand, your blood also will that blood will also stain your hand. So shaking hands with a dictator, a murderer, is a sign that Fr Ndi is completely sold out. We know in Western war that just shaking of hands is very important. That's why you see in the West, dictators are often isolated. The Americans will not want to shake hands with dictators across the globe. Of course, there is always a need that you must engage these dictators and these tyrants in order to help to alleviate the pain of the oppressed people, or to even find a way forward, because you have to negotiate with this guy at the end of the day. But it is always done in a way that preserves the honor, the dignity, and recognizes the pain that these people have caused to our people. And John Fr Ndi know this better, because he had said so. This is somebody who have refused that he can never shake the hand of Paul Biya in the 90s, because Paul Biya was a thief who rigged election and manipulated people and was trying to kill him. Today, Paul Biya have not just been somebody who steal election, he is now killing people, burning houses, even in John Fr Ndi's compound in Pinyin, where Fr Ndi went and saw the blood of over 18 youths that were slaughtered by Tanganjipo on behalf of Paul Biya. He testified that Paul Biya's government was responsible. Today, Fr Ndi is holding that hand with blood because of money. He doesn't just shake the hands of Paul Biya, he holds it with two hands like a child greeting an adult. Fr Ndi have stained his hand with the blood of our people who have died in the hands of Paul Biya. He is a traitor, and his day will come. He is not an honorable person. John Fr Ndi is a disgrace to Ambazonia, and our people should know that. So, fellow Ambazonians, we will now take you to Sansan Boy, to take you to in the great state of Fako, where our youth have risen up. You know very well our captain, our general, our overall commander in Fako, the head, the overall commander of the ADF in Fako, Captain Small Pickin. He was recently arrested or picked up, whatever you may want to call him, by the forces of General Sagat of the Mountain Lion. He was picked up by a specific commander they call Commander Sky. We will not put his picture out there, but the videos, there are a lot of videos out there that have been put out already by General Sagat, so we are going to play one of those videos. And to remind him of who we know, General Sagat of the Mountain Lions was once a very fierce Ambazonian fighter who was focused against the enemy. He has also become one of those people who have fallen out of the IG and have abandoned their leadership in the diaspora and reject any leadership from the IG group that is outside. We respect that. He was part of the ARF, and now he have gone to join the people in the ground zero stuff. You know, we respect that as well. But this is unacceptable. For a long time, these people have been struggling to suppress every group there to be the only group. One is very curious, but why would one want to be the only group where you cannot control every place at the same time? They say many hands do one light work. Perhaps this was as a result of the bribery and corruption of the Cameroon government to use bribery through Chris Anu and Sako, which Chris Anu have testified, to make sure that they can subdue Ambazonian forces to allow CDC and also Supermon to function. The bribery and corruption causes forces to want to control everything to allow these economic operators to operate. So for recently, there is a company that have come up to now use machines to suck, to remove sand from the river in Teke. I want to show this video so that our people should have an image of what we are talking about. So this is the image of that company, of that video, of that company that have been installed there. They have brought this machine to dig sand from the river. This machine will definitely kick out all of our youths from that whole area of Mabanda, area there to Muyuka, up right to Boya. All the youths, but majority of our youth in this area are relying on this Sansan job to make their ends, to survive and to live. So we have opposed and rejected even money that have been offered by this company, which is being funded by Francophones from La République. We have opposed it because we have to put into priority the job and livelihood of our people, our youth who are there. So after they have failed to bribe us, they have contacted the Mountain Lions, General Sky, to allow them to operate there against the interests of our people and our youth. He had approved this project. And through that rejection of the ADF of this project, they have successfully, for the first time, to infiltrate us, paid some Sansan boys that they want to employ, and our general, our commander in Fako was now picked up by them. He was tortured, and due to the intervention of General Transporter and many other people who came out and called them out that you cannot just go and arrest a commander simply because you want to have control, you want to allow a company to set up shop in that area. It was condemned, and then now they were using this opportunity to now tell our forces there that they must disarm. They wanted to take away their guns. They should bring all their guns. They don't want ADF there for no other reason. So the reason why would they not want ADF? They say they want collaboration because they want to be able to allow and receive money from people like this. That is the obvious reason. And this is the problem we have across our territory. But let's go into this particular case first and show you people what is happening. So they eventually release our general, the youths in that community. I'm very proud of the youths. They came out en masse to stand up and demand the release of our general. So this is our general. The youths in that community, all of them marched to the camp of General Sagat and asked for his release. And eventually he was released to a hero's welcome back in Fako. The people welcome him. And this is testimony of his character and the conduct of the ADF on ground zero. We are a soldier and we are a group, And we're a force that stands with the people and defends the right of the people and put the people as a priority. If you look at his hands there, it's full of blood. I'll play the... So you can see women, children. These are the wounds he sustained in that mission. So that is what has happened. He was tortured seriously, and he's now recovering from that experience. And we are calling out on the mountain lions and all Ambazonian forces to work together and not try to engulf each other, and for forces to avoid receiving money from business people that compromises their conduct and their behavior within our struggle. This should never happen. And we thank General Transporter and all those who have intervened for the release of Captain Small Pickin. I want to show you people now. So now the youths who are supposed to be carrying Sansan, because the ADF now have been in this problem, they don't have anywhere to go. They had a protest which have been widely covered.
One man want frustrate all the youth them. One man I want frustrate all the youth them. From Kondo, Muyuka, Yoke, Malende. And one man I want frustrate all these youth them because he get in millions. Say in them now buy all. Now I want put machine. For send me all the youth them, they no work again. With the back una, were high authorities them for the country. This Cameroon. Me una look them. Now look the youth them where one man want frustrate them. For the southwest where they know how things they hurt. Yes. If the man want work, me can do them as other people them they do them. They make canoe them put them for water. They use they extract the sand. No be say you go bring machine where you employing 7 people. Me they extract the sand from water. You expect me the youth they do how? Yes. No. And they use them this. Them, high authorities, them, high ranking them for the country, Cameroon. When I look, they use them. When one man, one population, one man, one suffer this population. One man, one suffer all these youth them.
So, my Cameroon, Asiam, sun is our only job. So you can see the youths coming out to express themselves and to say that it's not fair for them. At this stage where we are in the middle of a war, at this stage where our civilians, they don't have any options, there are no job opportunities for them. We have been stripped bare from every human, God-provided resources that we were supposed to use to be able to take care of ourselves. At this stage, the mountain lions have to ask themselves, who are they really working now for? Are they working for the civilians, the people, or they are working for the corporations that is empowered by La République du Cameroon? They should really see for yourself. Just make the judgment call. The ADF and the Ambazonia Governing Council, every decisions we make, yes, we will not allow that machine to remove the sand. We will not. But the youths have to take the primary responsibility. The use of force is always the last resort. But we will not allow, we have told the youth to be very clear, to make sure that they don't allow that machine to work in that place. It does not benefit us. They want to come and extract, as they always come and extract our resources, take them away. We will not allow that to happen. So these are the footages of the protests, the Sansan boy rising up to protest and speak for their rights. They are very, very clear. This is the only job that they have. So General Sagad, you want to authorize... General Sagad, you want to authorize the company that will go against all these youths. So now you are aligning yourself with a company that is totally against the interests of the people. Who are you now fighting for? And you have arrested General Captain Small Pickin because of that. Now, think about the people who have helped you to arrest our soldier. Those type of people, who are they working for? It starts by people working for economic interests, and eventually it moves into compromising the security and safety and our network in Ground Zero. So please, let's watch the video. There are women.
High authorities, them, high ranking them for the country, Cameroon. Una look the youth them. We one man, one population. One man, one suffer this population. One man, one suffer all these youth them. From Muyuka, Muyuka, Malende, Kondo. One man, one suffer all this population. So they cry for the high ranking. Because when that man put that in machine, we don't know say all the youth they go go. We don't know say all the youth they go go. We don't know say all the youth they go go. We dey cry for help. Una help we. Now one man not be two people, and that machine is employing 7 people. I beg my high rankings them, high authorities them. We say all the youth they go go. We say all the youth them they go go. They dey cry.
So the Wusa they use the go. When you hear it cry, they talk say our high ranking now because they know if you call Ambazonia. Because they will be killed also by Cameroon terrorists who do not allow people to express themselves. So they are even talking high ranking for this country, even called Cameroon. Who can help them? The person who stands with the people is the Ambazonia Governing Council, the ADF. That is the force that reflects the aspiration of our people and the interests of our people. So the Mountain Lion have to align themselves with the ADF. They have to collaborate and work with the ADF, not against the ADF. They have to abandon corporations that have bribed them to allow them to function that will undermine our public interests. We are working for the people, not against the people. In this case, they are absolutely wrong, and they should do the right thing and to tell this company to go back to La Republique and go and work in Douala, go to Idea and leave us Ambazonia. We will empower our own country and we will put our own interests strategically ahead of any other corporate decision. We will not build a country where few individuals are extracting and exploiting for everybody to be slaves. That will not happen. So the Sansan boy have risen up and it reflects our policy. That's why when we make policies and we make laws, so una dan see am very clearly. Una feel say who go help our youth? La Republique, of course, they no care. All the one African take their own money for that company also for enrich themselves and then leave our people they meet and suffer. This is what have been going on in our territory for the past 61 years. And it must stop. The ADF will not rest. Even if you take away all of our soldiers today, we will see race amongst these boys, new ADF members, new ADF camp to fight and defend themselves, because that is who we are. We are there to support our people, to empower them and enable them to defend themselves and our national interests. And for General Sagat, who have come to side with this company and arrest our forces, I want to remind him, and I'll play this beautiful video he made in 2019, that he had released in 2019, to remind him of who we always know General Sagat to be and how far he has fallen.
You are on. Today on the 1st October, Ambazonia to celebrate independence. And today they give a warning for all Ambazonians. No school in Ambazonia. No school for starting Cameroon. Any student, any teacher, any who will catch them as any office for La Republique Ambazonia. For starting Cameroon land. Any man will take 5 francs. If you say fighter, I take 25 for any man. I'll kill him personally. As I catch you, kill him. Bam. So no school no the.
So now you this General Sagat for 2019, you did make a wonderful speech where you be the banned school according to the restoration forces their opinion at that time. But we know now say they don't change them, they don't adopt the governing council position we'll take them for Toronto conference day. So now we don't authorize schools me go on. Me no man no confused. So in your own word, General Sagat, you talk say any soldier where you go take money for any school, semi that school you go, because it could be against the interest of Ambazonia. Make that particular soldier, make them kill him. Now look how far you have come. Today, now your own soldier, General Sky, it is same people that made them go catch an ADF soldier. Because he, the General Sky, either accept for reward for allow this company for Sansan make it open. So think very well, my brother. Think very well. To add to that, you now say that you don't want ADF there, that barracks must close and they must come and join you and be under your group. When you know very well that that is not true. That will never happen. The ADF is fighting against La Republic. You are fighting against La Republic. Why don't you focus to fight, let ADF focus to fight, and you collaborate? You want them to come and join you. Why? Because it will reflect that policy. It will be a benefit for you personally, not for our people. The companies, we have heard about CDC issues, we have heard about Supermon and all those things, even brasseries. How many schools are still open, government schools are open in your areas that you control? So let's focus to fight against La Republic. General Sagat, let the Mountain Lion close all Cameroon government schools and schools that are not following Ambazonian guidelines, who are still struggling to put on uniforms in Boya and the rest area in Fako. Let us do that together. Stop trying to bring people under you by force against their own will. It will never ever work. The ADF have its command train. The ADF is a properly constituted organization that fights to defend our people, and policies are well thought through. Let me just play the video, the remaining part of this old video.
And it starts from Tiko, Boya, and Limbe. I do the insights. No feeling for Muyuka, Ekona, Munya. So the standard from Boya, Tiko, Limbe. Any student want to try, any principal or any teacher, he go see him. We need cash to take money. But yes, some man cash, some teacher, he take 25 at the kill. As I cash you kill you. Any work of the Republic inside Southern Cameroon land, as I don't deserve to kill we. As they cash you, they kill you.
So that is the General Sagat I know. That is a General Sagat I love. I fell in love with this young youth and a young leader who stood up to fight against La Republique du Cameroon. And I'm reminding General Sagat by bringing this his old video so that he can remember who he is. Today we are getting report after report of money, bribery, and corruption, and how CDC is now functioning and helping La Republique du Cameroon. Remember, General Sagat, you have banned people from receiving bribes. Today, ask Sky what is going on. Why is Sky supporting this company to open? The company have openly said that they have given money to Sky, and they proposed money to Captain Small Pickin. He refused the money. So what has happened to you? Today you have gone that you want to go and join this Ground Zero group. We have advised Ambazonians about this one-man group. We understand the IG have failed you, and all the restoration forces, the IG have failed them, so they have decided that they don't want any diaspora leadership for the ARF, who have joined the AMF now to form this Ground Zero group. But remember that the diaspora have the Ambazonian Governing Council, who is in the diaspora and on the ground. Our forces have never been failed by our leadership. We give them proper counsel and proper instructions, and they will continue to be under us. They want to be under us. So why you don't want to be under your leadership? You have formed your group. Focus on your own group. And I advise you to go back to your previous policies that were very hard against enablers and against La Republique du Cameroon, and leave the ADF alone. Leave Captain Small Pickin and his forces alone. They are doing the right thing. You are the one who needs to change, not them. And I pray that you find a place in your heart where you can do the right thing for your people, because I know you love them. I know that Cameroon government is trying to kill you as well. We know that you are fighting for the same thing like us. All of us are in the forest. Why will you be targeting us because of small money? Because of this company? Why? Look at the population. They are against that policy. So stand with the side of the people. The governing council is doing the right thing. Think about it. And to Ambazonians, this is my general advice I'm going to give. The right to fight, the right of our self-determination. comes by us organizing ourselves and representing our people and the interests of our people, not individuals going against the interests of the people, and representing the aspirations of our people to the best of our ability. The ADF and SOCADEF are the only group that have command and control structure with a civilian wing. And that is the right thing to do. For after 5 years of fighting, we cannot be creating up cartels in Ambazonia. It will never work. Because only a group that is properly constituted by Ambazonians that can create an organization that is answerable to the Ambazonian people that are constituted in that group can create an atmosphere of accountability where groups can be properly accounted for. A group like the Mountain Lions and all the group who are going to join these Ground Zero groups, this group of soldiers who are called them lost but found because they have been lost by the IG group, and they have found themselves in this group because they want to counter the whole projection of ADF being a very big force on the ground. They go and join this thing. You cannot just make decision because you want to challenge the ADF. You want to challenge our leadership. You going to be in that group. You have now cut yourself from properly constituted organizations like the IG. We know that the IG is problematic, but you must align yourself with any properly constituted body so that you are accountable to the people. The people that approach these groups and provide them money, most of them are commercial interests who are linked and have the umbilical cord with the Cameroon government that provides them the license to produce and to function in that economic environment. Once you start receiving money from them, you now open a way where intelligent actors from Cameroon will start give you ideas and advice that you think is good for you, but they are using it against you. Look in Bameda de Tabiquifo, when they advise them that you stop the airport, shoot private plane. That's what they advise them. What happened? It impeded humanitarian activities on the ground and gave us a bad reputation internationally. But for them, they just want to tell them, oh, you have to show that you are the baddest. Stop school, kill this one, without any rational thoughts, without any principle behind the use of force. The use of force must be proportional and must be held accountable. Any group in Ground Zero that is not held accountable or don't have an institution or organization that is constituted by the Ambazonia people to hold them accountable will become a problem. I want to remind our people about the danger of groups being isolated and working on their own with soldiers who carry guns, making decisions on their own, and they are accountable not to the Ambazonian people. Because if your group is not properly constituted by the Ambazonian people, you cannot be accountable to them. You are just accountable to yourself and your bodies who carry guns. And I want to show you, ladies and gentlemen, this is not meant to be very hard, but I want to show you the reality and their danger. Remember the case of General Ayeke. It should be very clear in the memory of every Ambazonian. I want you to watch these video of General Ayeke. These are General Ayeke's actions with Commander Diamond of Sokadev. Look at our civilians. They went and picked up with bad advice. It was about 30 or 50 civilians in their villages, tied their hands, cut them, because somebody come and deceive them that these people have witchcraft or whatever. They lie to them that you have to be very hard like this on our people. And how did it start? It started with Ayeke thinking that he could take money from people like Paul Tassang, and they will give him weapons and he will be fighting for the Republic. Once they start giving you those weapons and money, they start to give you wrong advice. Go and catch your own people. So you are an Ambazonian fighter working for economic interests who are giving you bad advice. You go and arrest your own. These are civilians that were arrested by the Restoration Forces, General Ayeke and Diamond, Commander Diamond. Today, Ayeke, a very fine soldier, is no more. Because even his population, the actions now were making La Republique to look good. Because La Republique came there to rescue people who were trapped by their own liberators. Those liberators were now being misled. They send Ayeke to go and burn school. They will tell you, go burn that school, go burn that school. So our people must know and learn from the examples and the mistakes of the past. That any Ambazonian fighter, no matter how good you are, if you are not accountable to the Ambazonian people, you will become a problem to the society. And how can a group be accountable to the people and be effective? Is by belonging and submitting themselves to civilian leadership and political leadership, to not an individual who sits in the diaspora like a cartel king, a criminal gang like the ones we have seen in America who was arrested by the FBI. Those people have become a problem to our society and our community. Ambazonians must function within properly constituted bodies, organizations that are made up by Ambazonians both at home and abroad, that come together to form organizations, create positions, give proper mandates to leaders through democratic process that can lead them, so that when those leaders are taking decisions, they can be held accountable by their organizations. And when their forces are carrying out missions, those conduct can be regulated by that constituted body. That is why the Ambazonian Governing Council and all the nationalists are insisting that all forces in Ground Zero must align with properly constituted organizations, both for effectiveness and to protect the integrity of self-defense. Because when forces are transformed into one-man show, one small person in the diaspora holding a whole group hostage, he will now be making decisions without proper consultation or proper debates with different minds. They say many heads can make better decisions. So every group, if you are alone, you cannot go and join a group called Ground Zero Group. Who are they accountable to? They're accountable to forces. That is ridiculous. It will never work. That's why, since they are there, it's just a joke. It's just a platform on papers where they can feel associated with and then challenge the ADF, so that you say that the ADF is not the supreme group on the ground. But we know that ADF alone is the biggest force compared to every force in Ground Zero. This year alone, ADF accounts for 90% of the actions against Cameroon. So collaborate. We don't want to dominate. We don't want any group to disappear. We want to work hand in hand and stem out intelligent work such as the one that led to the death of Ayeke, that has undermined us by La Republique du Cameroon. Taking bribes from corporation is the beginning of a downfall of any Ambazonian groups, and we all have a collective responsibility to advise all soldiers on the ground not to be on them by themselves, not to be alone, but to integrate themselves into command and control system that are in an organization of properly constituted Ambazonian citizens, like the AGOFC and the others who are out there. And that is very important, and that is the message I want you to take home. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this presentation. We are going to take an entire presentation to talk and expose what is going on in the great state of Menchu, in Esu, with the killing of the death of His Royal Highness Fr Matthias, and the burning of houses. If we are not careful, if we don't act fast, Esu will become like the Rohingya Muslims. Once again, we want to thank General Rambo for the wonderful reprisal actions that were taken in Meme, in Kumbatiri there, in Mabanda, that resulted to the neutralization of 2 Cameroon colonial forces, 1B and one a police officer who were in a joint patrol in Mabanda. They were neutralized and the weapon was recovered from that mission. We want to congratulate them and all of our freedom fighters and liberators on the ground. Focus on your work, and all of our people as they are returning home. Please adjust yourself to Ambazonian instructions and guidelines. Obey the ghost town and make sure you maintain the guidelines we have provided to community school, and everything will be fine. And I want to appeal, lastly, to all of our people who are watching me, and everybody who is watching me, even if you are not an Ambazonian, to support this good cause, to fight for the human right of the people of the Ambazonians. And in particularly with the case in Meme, that we are raising funds to get this 10 AK-47 to the hands of our freedom fighters, who have now received one M16. So please make sure you donate. Contact Hurace, who is my deputy. Contact Lucas Asu, who is our press secretary of the President's Office, and contact Mama Wali, our overall commander. And when you donate, please mention my name. Say that you have heard from Capo Daniel and you want to chip in something. Together we can do it. Imagine if all the people who listen to me, we have over 7,000 a day, every single day, listen to the podcast we put out there. If all of you can donate just $20 each time you listen to the podcast. Now it's no more monetarized. It has been cut off. So I don't gain anything from those stuff. And even if I had received money through monetization, it has all paid my bills. Because the AGOVC do not provide us anything, we have to do it out of our pocket, which is honorable. People are doing even more than that. So please, I plead with you. We need this contribution. I need you to contribute so that we can give these boys the tool they need to defend our homeland. You have seen the way they have risen up after almost 1 year of training here, going there, back up here. Now that they are now focused on their own barracks, it's just so wonderful, and the enemy is mourning. The children of Ambazonia should be happy. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen, my country people. Them, God bless you all. Ciao, and see you soon about the issue of ASU. God bless you.